So Neil, 2017, a tough season in the county championship especially.
It has. It's been a tough season and a long season, and clearly we're very disappointed with the way we performed both in the 50 over and the county championship. I think the 50 over in particular, having been the reigning champions with that great win against Surrey down at Lords, to perform as we did was very disappointing this year. In the championship, we got off to a bad start at Surrey and I don't think ever really recovered. So, very disappointing for everybody at the club. But the processes are in place to start to rebuild for next year. And, we'll work hard through the winter and make sure we've give something for the fans to support next year.
It's well documented, of course, that the squad and the first team is in transition. And that situation's been coming for a while, hasn't it? Which is why the club brought in Ashley Giles and Jim Troughton.
It has been coming for a while. I mean, I've only been here a couple of years, but in that time it was pretty clear to me that we had a very, very talented bunch of players, but they were all a similar age and they've all been getting old at the same time. So we knew that we were going to have to refresh at some point. We can't forget that they've been fantastic servants to the club and hopefully will continue to be so, some of them, and they've won every trophy available, which no other county has done. So we're very proud of that record over recent years. But they are all getting old together, and we've had to refresh things. We've had to bring in some new faces, and I think that's all part of professional sport.
And the transition begun last season. Dominic Sibley, Adam Hose, Ryan Sidebottom all coming in and hitting the ground running.
Well, they did, and that was a big part of what we wanted Ashley to do in his new role. With Ashley coming in as sport director, it gives him time to look across the whole breadth of the sporting side of the business, including recruitment. And so he and I sat down at the beginning of the season. We agreed a budget, we agreed a short list of targets, and we were delighted that we managed to get Dominic Sibley and also Adam Hose. The fact that they came in during the season was a bonus. Obviously, we picked up Ryan Sidebottom through his association with Berkswell, and that made a real impact. So that's why we're already feeling optimistic about next year, because we've already seen some of that change added to some of the youngsters that have come through our own system, and it was good to see them integrated through the season.
Yes, those three hit the ground running for the Bears, didn't they? And Will Rhodes, of course, is coming in as well.
Yeah, so we've been keeping an eye on Will for a while. We felt that he was the right sort of profile as to what we wanted coming in and joining the squad. Yorkshire wanted to keep him to the end of the season, and we understand that, but he spent quite a bit of time with the squad, and now he'll work with us through the winter, and we look forward to seeing him performing for the Bears next year.
So 4 guys came in from outside the county, and a few came through the player pathway as well. Now, the player pathway at Edgbaston hasn't been productive enough for maybe 10, 15 years, but that hopefully is changing.
I hope it is, and I think we've seen some positive signs this year. I think you're right. If we look back over a number of years, that whole player pathway is probably misfired. And we've had plenty of young talent coming through. We've given them lots of an opportunity in the first team, but they just haven't cut it. So there's something not been quite right. And so we brought in Paul Greetham a couple of years ago. He's been doing a great job, and we're just starting to see some of the fruits of his labour, supported with Mo Sheikh and Kadir Ali as well. So we've seen some of them come through. We've seen the likes of Brooks coming through, Panay, Sunny Singh. Obviously, Pollock has made a big impact this year as well. So we're really pleased with some of those early signs, and combined with the recruitment that we've done, we're very positive about next year.
We've spoken about investing in the squad and backing the coaches when they identify players who they want to bring in. For that to happen, the club needs success off the field, of course, notably by hosting major matches. And 2017 was a good year in those terms.
It was. I mean, when we look back at 2017, there's obviously been disappointments on the playing side, but commercially and as a club, it really couldn't have gone better in terms of the business side of the organisation. So the Champions Trophy, the 5 matches were an outstanding success with 3 complete sellouts. The day-night test, the first ever in this country, again was a huge success commercially, and again I think was good for the reputation of Warwickshire County Cricket Club and Edgbaston as a whole. And then others described the finals day as the best ever finals day. So who are we to argue with that when other reporters, journalists, and broadcasters give that kind of feedback? So I think from the point of view delivery of those major match days, in terms of the commercial impact, but also the reputational impact, particularly as we go into the major match allocation for 20 to 24, really couldn't have gone better. So all of that money that we make through that goes back into the game, is reinvested into the club, into the facilities, and into the actual playing side. So from that point of view, it was a very, very positive year.
And Edgbaston will host some huge matches, of course, in the next 2 years. India Test match in 18 and an Ashes Test and the World Cup in 19. Beyond that, we'll find out this winter.
We will. I mean, we're in the middle of a very, very strong allocation of matches, and I think that was based on the successful delivery of major matches in the past. As you say, next year we've got Australia coming again in an IT20. That'll be a very special evening in June. We've got the first of the 5 India Test matches. So again, it'll be nice to be back Edgbaston where it belongs, having the first test of the series, and then again another finals day. So next year is going to be pretty special, and then we've got the bumper year of 2019 with 5 matches in the Cricket World Cup and the Ashes. So I think that's going to be a really good end to this cycle. And then this winter, myself and the executive team here at Edgbaston will be working very hard with the ECB on the next round of allocations, and we'll learn around February time what matches we're going to have here from 2020 to 24.
The financial position of the club and in terms of servicing the debt to the City Council is solid?
Yeah, we had a very positive year last year, and again this year from a trading perspective. That enables us to reinvest into the club, but also to service that debt. And we've got to remind ourselves that without the loan from the council, we wouldn't have these fantastic facilities that we all enjoy throughout the year, and the actual same facilities that attract major matches here. So it was an investment that was much needed. We do service that debt. We're able to service that debt. We've got a very good relationship with Birmingham City Council, and now increasingly with the combined authority. So it's really about our place within the city, within the county Warwickshire, and within the West Midlands region.
And finally, the Bears fans were very supportive last year. It was a tough watch at times, wasn't it? Particularly in the county championship, but they really stuck with the team.
They did, and I think we're very fortunate to have some really terrific fans here. Both our members, the supporters, those that come to the T20, right across the board. The Bears fans, I think, are some of the best in the game. I mean, I remember clearly the day down at the Oval. For that quarter-final in the T20, where the whole of Block 9, it was bright yellow with all the Bears fans making a load of noise and having a great time, and that was a very special evening. But even in the other formats where we haven't been successful in the Championship and the 50 over, they've stuck with us. Certainly on the Championship days, I like to have a wander around and chat to the members, and almost without exception, people have understood what's gone on. They've all said that they've enjoyed the upsides, they've enjoyed the silverware, but they realise that we're going through that transition. We need to get on with it. I think there is an expectation of success here at Warwickshire, but I think there's been a lot of support, and we're very grateful to all of the Bears fans for that support, both in the good times and now, and hopefully again next year.